All right, look at the shot match. If you have limited skills, this is what you're going to get. I'm not exaggerating this. But what I'm about to show you, it's very different than what you've seen when it comes to shot matching. And it is so simple that the barrier of entry does not exist. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And your shot matching is just going to go from 5 minutes to 15 seconds. I promise you that. So this video is going to be worth every single thing. Also, I'm throwing in a companion guide. You can download that. Link is going to be in the description. That said, let's get into it. For those that don't know me, my name is Qazi. I've worked with brands like Adidas, Amazon Prime, Universal Studios, and I make no bullshit, straightforward color grading tutorials so you can work with your dream clients. All right, so here are our 3 shots. So we got this shot, and this shot. Obviously, I didn't make my life too easy. They're very different, okay? So they belong in the same scene, but usually what happens? When you're shooting and you're getting your coverage, light is changing, especially when you're shooting outside. So this is very, very common, where this looks like earlier in the day, a little bit later, a lot later, right? So normally your scopes are going to be set up like this. I mean, most of the videos that I do, my scopes are set up like this, right? I mean, I have omniscope going on here, but when I'm working with you guys, I just have 2 up because most of the time we can get away with it with what we're doing. So let's use it first and see what we can do, right? So normally what would happen is we look at a shot like this and we go, well, this is a good place. If I want to balance my shot, I should bring everything to this world instead of these, right? They just this looks underexposed. This looks too blue. You know, I want to bring it into this world, but even this one, I want to correct it a little bit. So I'm just going to try to channel me 8 years ago. Like, you know, I'm just starting out and I'm just kind of playing with it. Not even 8 years, 10 years ago. And I'm just starting out, I'm playing with it. How would I get there, right? So like in my head, I've seen some videos and people just say, hey, use gamma. Like if things look like this, use gamma, bring it down and then gain to lift it up. Oh my God, like this looks great. It actually does. It looks really good. It's opening up our image, right? By the way, I didn't take you through all of this because I've already converted this footage and I've done a trillion videos that you guys can watch. And obviously there's going to be links either popping up there or there's videos around this topic in the description below as well. So you guys can watch my color management based videos. So input device transform, output device transform, footage is shot on FX3, blah, 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 right? So the conversion is done. That's not the point of this video. So then a beginner does this and goes, this looks really good, or even intermediate. Somebody who's a filmmaker, you guys, your forte is not color grading. You guys just shoot stuff, edit stuff, and then you watch 18 different tutorials from 10 different people, and you are confident that you can mess around and end up with something pretty fairly good, right? So it's coming from that angle. That's very important to like establish that because no video is going to apply to everyone, right? So this is coming from that angle. So we're looking at it. We're going, this is looking good. Now I'm on this shot. So what do I do? First of all, I'm like, okay, bro, like it's too blue. So maybe I use my temp and tint and take that out, right? So like I warm it up a little bit and then I go back and I see, okay, it's working. It's looking better than before. And now let's pull up the exposure. So let's just say I go, let's lift it up a little bit and then kill the gamma to create that contrast. And then we do this, we go back and forth. Well, dude, this started to look really, really good. This, I mean, we might have nailed it. I mean, look at this, our colorized waveform, our vector scope. This is looking very good. Okay, cool. Let's go to this shot. Okay, obviously we need to bring it up, but this time, let's give our guy a benefit of the doubt. He's seen videos to know, go under HDR offset, use the global offset, works like f-stop. So let's bring this up and try to see how closely we can match it. Okay, this is looking good. And then at this point, we can pull our gamma down, our gain up, gamma down, and we are getting somewhere. But I mean, now I feel like this looks the best in terms of our balance. But let's just say we go, let's cool it off a little bit so it matches this. And let's pull some of the magenta out of this one and warm it up. Magenta out of this one. And now we go here Now this one needs to come up. And now this one needs to come up. You see what I mean? Like there's so many different things that we have to do. We have to do gamma changes, gain changes, temp and tint changes, global offset, that change. You understand what I'm saying? Like how many different directions we're running in, right? To get that. And okay, let's just save these. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to save this. Let's save this and let's save this. Saved all three, right? So now that's our beginner version. All right, now let's reset these and let's try it again. This time, I'm going to be using a technique that I did a video essay on that everybody on this planet Earth, 8 billion plus people should watch. It's basically a head-to-head between HDR offset and linear gamma transfer function. So I'm going to be using that superior method, linear gamma. You should not skip that video just thinking that I'm saying linear gamma 1 and I'm spoiling the fun, because there's so much deep research that went into showing you for yourself and the type of work that you do, which method you should use when, that it's worth the watch. But now that I've killed the Luma mix and I'm using my linear gamma, with this method, we are as close as possible to actually messing with physical photons, like the light that is hitting the sensor and the temp and tint that was set in camera at the time when it was hitting the sensor and being captured on that card. It's as close to that as possible, manipulating your image when it comes to balancing. So, I mean, hopefully I sold you on it, like why this is that good. But it is incomplete until we do one more step. Anytime it comes to balancing your shots, the first thing that you want to do is exposure and contrast. Get that out of the way. Because if I were to nail everything like the sky to look a certain way, it will never look the same here because they're too far off in terms of exposure. And as the exposure drops, the things get saturated. As the exposure climbs, the saturation leaves, the hot areas. Okay? So for that, what I'm going to do is a simple thing. I'm going to drop RapidGrade, and inside RapidGrade, I'm going to go under output charts. We're going to activate this and we're going to turn on false color. Okay? And then as soon as I do that, I want to copy that here and I want to copy that here. Okay? So now we got that here. This is going to tell us where we want to go with our image. Okay? And where it's at. It's going to start telling us right now, and we're seeing it right out the gate. Look at where the jacket is sitting in this shot. Look at where there's this yellow 3 stops over in the sky, and then there's barely anything over in the sky. And then here, this is right here in terms of 2 stops or 3 stops, let alone the sky. Look at the sky here. Look at the sky here. And this gets to tell us how underexposed this shot is. So we're going to go to this shot first of all. This is where our girl is sitting. So overall exposure-wise, it's looking good because she's 1 stop over right here, perfect skin tones all of right here, and the sky is 3 stops over, and this is good. This is our baseline. We want to keep it right there. But now we want to match the other shots to that. So here, it becomes very simple. I go in my gain and I start raising that up. I go here and I look at the sky and I come back and I go, it needs to be at least here. And now I go, well, what about this shot? I need to put some of that in the sky, right? And now we have some of this action going on, like, 2 stops and 1 stop over, 2 stops and 1 stop over, 3 stops in the sky, 3 stops in the sky, 3 stops in the sky, 2 stops over, 1 stop over, okay? And at this point, if we turn this off and ripple selected so we can turn it off there, bam, our exposure is done. It was that simple. Okay, you guys can use some other false color if you want to use, but why wouldn't you use RapidGrade? Because this tool, this is just one of the 10 trillion things that it has. It makes it such a cheat code to create high-end looks that are 100% customizable. And most importantly, everything works with any color space. So if you want to work in DaVinci Wide Gamut and have that future-proof aspect to your footage, so 4 years from now, when our TVs can handle 14 stops of dynamic range, you can just go in there, flip one switch, export, and you got that protected. Your look that you had created 4 years ago is future-proof, 100%. Comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee, so you got absolutely nothing to lose. Best of all, right now we're doing a 4th of July sale, so we got a killer offer going on that will be ending any minute. So link is in the description. Check it out, and let's get back to the video. All right, so now we're pretty much done with this part of it. We're gonna go back in here, and this is where the fun starts. The actual work starts right here. So right now I'm looking at it, and I'm going, the colors are all over the place, but I need to prove it. When I look at my vector scope, I can only prove so much, barely prove anything, because this color is coming from here, so that doesn't apply to these two shots. This and this doesn't look that far off, but then when we look at it, it feels very off. And then same thing here, like this looks too warm compared to this or even that. That has so much magenta and blue in it, but how do we prove it? How do we prove it? And this is the secret sauce. This is the key that I'm about to give you, okay? 4 up. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. We're going to do this. We're going to change this from all to low. We're going to go here. We're going to change this to vector scope. We're going to change that to mid. We're going to go here. We're going to change this to high. And we're going to go here and we're going to change that to vector scope and we're going to leave it in all. Okay? Now these, we want to just go and make sure the vector scope is cranked all the way so we can really see what's going on. And our biggest concern with this one, so what's happening here? First of all, this is showing us our colors in the lower part of your image, okay? So in this part of the image, lowest part of the image, why don't I do this? Why don't I turn on waveform here so we can really see what's happening? So this is showing us what's happening down here, okay? This is showing us mid, what's happening in here in this section. This is showing us what's happening at this area and up top, like right here. And we can see that, right? You see the cyan blue? That's right here. We can see that. You see all of this like blue that's leaning here? That's all of this that we're seeing that. And you're seeing that mixed mutt of all the colors right here on the low end. And we're seeing that right here. That's exactly what it's doing, okay? Now, one of the things that I want to do before I get into the color part of it, I just want to give it some life. I want to give it some contrast that I want. So I'm going to go and do this. And I'm going to probably raise it up a little bit. This looks good to me. I'm going to come here and I'm going to do a similar thing. It definitely needs it. And I'm going to raise it up. And I'm going to see this is looking good. This already has a pretty good contrast. So now let's just double check one more time since we made these changes that everything else is looking good. So we still have that going on. We still got that going on. I think we're looking good on that front. That's fine. So now coming back to this right here and looking at what's going on, we're going to take our vector scope. We're going to crank it all the way so we can really see what's happening here. I'm going to come here and it should be all the way up. Okay, so now we really get to see what's happening. You see these little changes? That's where it's at. If I go here and I see this, and if I go here, I see that it's way over here, right? So now what I have to do, I just go in my gain here and I keep pulling it and go back and forth until I'm in that vicinity. And as soon as I do that, look at this, what we did. It's fixed, 100% fixed. Like that's it. Okay. And now we go here and same thing. Pull it up. Look at this. As a matter of fact, now that's closer. It was this simple, just like that. And we were able to just absolutely nail all 3 shots. Now, one other thing that we need to focus on is we also need to go through our lows and mids, okay? So when I look at my mids, this looks pretty balanced to me. This still leans more toward blue, if you can see it, like before and after, you see this? It leans down. And then if we come here, this actually leans toward green, and we can also see that too. So I'm actually going to go in my gamma, And I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go here and I'm going to leave that as is. I'm going to pull this up a little bit. So now when we go here to here, okay, this is looking good. And now I go here and this is to green. And just like that, look at this. Look at this. So this is it. You see what we did? We focused on our sky right here, right? Got that dialed in. And then once we had that dialed in, look at this. Then we went and we looked at our mids, which is her jacket, and we dialed that in, and it's a 100% match. And if these two didn't work, we would have gone to our lows, but our lows just dialed in as soon as we got this dialed. And we have to start with our sky because that's like the brightest part in the image. And once you nail that, look at this. Once you nail that bit, it's very easy to then go in your mids and just fudge with it a little bit because the jacket was still off and we were seeing that. And now it's a 100% match. Look at this to this, 100% match. And the craziest part is now if we pull up our beginner's version and then you stack it next to this version, look at the consistency between the two. And color grading is never rocket science, but it does require the right tool for the job. That is one thing that you need to understand. If any part of the process is taking you too long, it's because you're missing the right tool to get you there. And that leads me to RapidGrade. Just look at the results right here. And more importantly, just look at what people are saying about it. Projects that were taking people 2 to 4 days, now they're getting them done in hours. And it's becoming an integral part of people's workflow. And of all the products I've created, I genuinely have the absolute lowest rate of refunds on this because it's just that good. But even then, I have a 7-day money-back guarantee. So 100% give it a try. And plus, take advantage of 4th of July sale. This will be ending any minute. So link is in the description. Check it out. If you guys have any content suggestions, let me know. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next video. Much love. Peace, fam.